Welcome to Our Hometown, the show where we take an in-depth look at some of the people and organizations that make this area great. Our first guests for this month's show are unique. They're making music all across Brunswick County and will be doing a special performance for us after their interview. They're the Coastal Harmonizers, a barbershop chorus group right here in our area. Then we'll speak with Ann Bockelman, who is with the Old Bridge Preservation Society. She'll share with us the story of the old Sunset Beach Bridge and how their organization is keeping its spirit alive. So stay with us for the next half hour as we explore our hometown. My guests are Barry Zimmerman and Dave McQueenie. They are with the Coastal Harmonizers. Thanks for being with us, gentlemen.
Pleasure.
Let's talk a little bit first about what barbershop music is. Tell us just a little bit about its history.
Well, barbershop music is a uniquely American phenomenon. It happened back, it became very prevalent back in the late 18th century, and through vaudeville became even more popular early in the 19th century. And it waned somewhat when vaudeville went out of vogue, but was revived by a group of men in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1938 who invited a group of men to sing harmony together with themselves. And that kind of mushroomed from place to place and has become a very large and thriving organization.
I want to talk about your group in just a minute, but Dave, how did you get involved in barbershop?
Actually, I got involved when I was in college.
Okay.
I was singing in the college glee club, and myself and three other guys got together, and we decided we actually took the tracks off the Buffalo Bills songs from the Music Man, and one of our guys, our bass, was able to put it to music, and we sang it, and we decided we're pretty good. So we went out and sang at the college and at places around the city that the college was in.
Great.
We had a lot of fun.
Barry, how about you? How did you get involved in barbershop?
Well, unlike Dave, I've actually only been involved in barbershop for a little over a year. The group decided to have a guest night about a year ago over at the community college, and I decided to give it a try. I had been in other kinds of music before and had heard barbershop and wasn't quite sure that it was for me. And went over to the college and was entertained by these guys and saw what they did, and I immediately fell in love with it. In fact, they were even crazy enough to bring me into a couple of their quartets, having no experience. And even with that, they still invited me back to begin. So I've been in it for a little over a year. Coastal
Harmonizers, that's your group, and they're relatively new. Tell us more about the Harmonizers.
Sure. There were a handful of guys that had a vision almost 2 years ago now. Basically, these folks had been involved in other barbershop groups locally, but they tended to be about an hour or so away. So their vision was to create a local group in Brunswick County.
Excellent.
And that vision has now brought us forward through their hard work and their patience to what we now call the Coastal Harmonizers in Brunswick County.
So you have a choral group and you have quartets. Tell us about the distinction between the two and how that works in your club.
Well, the Barbershop Harmony Society is a society of approximately 800 chapters all over this country and internationally too. We have chapters in Sweden and England and New Zealand and other places in the world. And each chapter strives to have a group of men and incorporates them into a chorus with 20 or more, and some choruses are as large as 150. Out of each of those choruses, usually quartets are formed, and they're formed informally by the members of the chorus who feel that they have the compatible voices that would sound good together in a quartet. And that's basically how the quartets are formed.
Sure. Now, Barry, I'm probably speaking for myself, but also for numerous of our viewers who say, you know, I really enjoy singing. You know, I like to sing in the bathtub. I have a moderately good voice. Is barbershop for me?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we get that a lot. Our rule of thumb is typically if you're comfortable singing a song like Happy Birthday
Sure.
at the family's birthday party, chances are you're going to be capable of singing in a barbershop quartet.
Good, good. Dave, before we went on the air, you told us about your long day on Valentine's Day. Tell us a little bit about that. I think our viewers would be interested.
Valentine's Day is a day that barbershoppers absolutely love. And we do this Valentine's every year, and most choruses or chapters will do it. We offer to sing a song or two, present a rose and a card with a sentiment from the sender, and we will go to homes, we'll go to restaurants, we'll go to places of business, we'll go almost anywhere. Go to schools.
Great.
Love doing it at schools. And sing those songs, and we get wonderful reactions from the people to whom we're singing, and from the people who are sending it, who sometimes are there, sometimes they're not. And of course, the quartets themselves get a great kick out of doing it.
Sure.
We love to do it, and it's something we do every year, and I get to love it more and more every year. It's just great.
Yeah. Now, because she's a good friend of mine, I can't help but mention Barbara Berry, who is your director. Tell us more about that, about Barbara.
Yes, well, we really were seeking somebody, regardless of sex in this case. Normally, as Dave has mentioned, it's an all-men's group.
Right.
Many of us were familiar with Barb and her music background and some of the other work that she does. And we just felt that we would go after the best person for the job. And Barbara has been fantastic. There are a couple of other female directors out there, and we're absolutely thrilled to have Barbara.
Well, she's so enthusiastic and a good friend, and I know she's doing just a great job.
Fantastic. To put up with all of us.
All right.
Yes.
Back to myself or our viewer who might have an interest. Could I just stop by during one of your rehearsals and either sit in or listen in?
Absolutely. We welcome that. We meet every Thursday evening from 7 to 9 at the Southport Center, which is in the same area, the same parking lot actually as the Wyndham Hotel. And last week, just to give you an example, we had 17 folks there, and 3 of the people were visiting other folks for a week or two and decided to come in and sing with us. So that's fabulous to do that. Of course, we always welcome folks of any age that want to join the group and join us on Thursday evenings.
Good. Do you have some future bookings that we might be interested in?
We have one coming up just this next week. We'll be singing at a retirement center in Southport for the folks there, and we expect to have more in the future.
Good, good.
Yes, and we actually have a guest night coming up May 19th, and we'll have more on that as time allows. But
A guest night is to invite those that might be interested.
that's correct.
All right.
Yes.
Barry, you alluded to some contact information, but how might an interested party get in touch with you?
Sure. Well, we have a membership committee chairman, and that is Phil Andriano, and I believe his information will come up at the end of the broadcast.
We'll provide that on screen,
Right
of
on
course.
screen. But for that matter, anybody that has an interest that wants to drop by Thursday evening at 7 o'clock at the Southport Senior Center, we will welcome them with open arms, have music ready.
Great. Dave, as we conclude this interview, tell us a little bit about the quartet that we will hear in the next few moments.
Our name is Brunswick Stew, and we came up with that obviously because we all live in Brunswick County. Two of the guys live in Charlotte. One of the guys lives in Winding River, and I live in St. James. And we got together as a result of being in this group that we have, just as I described how these quartets are generally formed. And we sang together a couple of times, and we said, hey, that's not a bad sound. Let's continue.
Great.
So we did.
Yeah.
And that's how we got together.
Excellent. Dave McQueenie and Barry Zimmerman, thank you for being with us.
Jim,
We
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
And look
Jim.
forward to
Appreciate
hearing from your quartet.
Thank you.
The gentlemen to my left are the Brunswick Stew. They are the Barbershop Quartet and a part of the larger group of the Coastal Harmonizers. To my immediate left is Dave McQueenie. Dave, you sing tenor. Is
I
that
sing
correct? To his left is Mike Prokop. Mike, you're the lead.
That's correct.
Bob Zink, you're the bass, correct?
Right.
And finally, Bill Clegg, you sing baritone.
Correct.
These gentlemen are terrific, and I'm very glad they're with us today. They're going to sing two great barbershop songs, Heart of My Heart and Shine on Me. Again, the Brunswick Stew.
Heart of my heart, I love you. Life would be naught without you. Light of my life, my darling, I love you. I love you. I can forget you never. From you I ne'er can sever. Say you'll be mine forever. I love you. Oh, shine on me in the morning, shine on me. Will the light in the lighthouse shine on me? Shine on me in the evening. Shine on me. I wonder if the lighthouse will shine on me. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too.
Our guest is Ann Bockelman. Ann is with the Old Bridge Preservation Society. Ann, welcome to our program.
Thank you, Jim. It's nice to be here.
Thanks. Tell us a little bit about your organization, how it got started, and what your activities are today.
Well, the Old Bridge Preservation Society started almost 3 years ago when the new high-rise bridge was being built. And some of us found out that the old pontoon swing bridge that we loved, and some people didn't love for many years, was going to be scrapped. It was such an icon in our community and had such an important role in the development of Sunset Beach that we wanted to save it. So long story short, lots of work and the generosity of many people, we were able to save the bridge. And now it is becoming a museum. So it's a little center in our community, and we're very proud of it.
And tell us where it's located now.
The bridge is on Shoreline Drive West, just across from the Sunset Beach Firehouse number 1. So it's close to Twin Lakes and Island Breeze and the shops in that area.
Can visitors stop by anytime?
They can come by. We're right now finishing up some construction, but we have programs there in the summer, and I'll tell you a little bit more about those as we go along.
Great, great. I know you have a big event coming up in May, so how about telling us more about that?
We do. We're really excited. On May the 4th, we are presenting the Strawberry and Wine Fest. It's going to be the first Saturday in May, May the 4th, 12 till 6 at Silver Coast Winery. And we just have a whole variety of things for people to do. It's going to be a wonderful day. We hope everybody will come because it's going to be an annual event. So if you come this year, you'll be in on the ground floor.
First
and you can
annual.
say, I remember when I came to the very first one.
Absolutely, yeah.
We have lots of things going on that day. One of our big attractions is the Imitations, a band from Wilmington that has a large following in this area. They're going to play for most of the day. We're going to have dancing. We're going to have dance contests. We're going to have dance lessons, some other music as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We also have lots of things going on. There will be vendors there with arts and crafts. We have people who are doing jewelry, pottery,
wow,
photography, arts, woodcrafts, local authors, just lots of fun things to look at. And in the winery, we're going to be both outside and inside. So our concert will be going out in the meadow, but inside the winery, we have more things going on. The winery will offer tours and wine tastings all through the day. We also, in the barrel room, are going to have Mary Beth Whalen, and she is a nationally known author who sets most of her novels in Sunset Beach. So she'll be there to sign books and meet her fans. She has a new book coming out very soon, so we're really excited that she'll be there. We're also going to have Bunny Lazan, a well-loved local artist, who will be there with some of her beautiful art. And then you can go inside and have a picture taken. In the barrel room, we have local photographers Guy and Sharon Maple, who are going to set up a booth with big wine bottles and other props that you and your friends or family can go and have your event photo taken with.
Great.
So that's all going to be a lot of fun. If you get hungry while you're there, we are going to have wonderful barbecue from J.P. Russ. Interestingly enough, many people might not know this, but Mr. Russ used to be one of the bridge tenders.
No, I didn't know that.
He did that many years ago, and of course he's well known for his business in this area, but he's also really renowned for his barbecue.
Wow.
So he's going to come to the Strawberry and Wine Fest, and he's going to have barbecue plates that day, but he's also going to do his pork butts, the barbecued pork butts, and you can pre-order one.
So it's an all-day event.
It's an all-day event, 12 to 6, Silver Coast Winery, May
And
the 4th,
I'm sure you're
first
looking
Saturday.
for a few thousand people of
We
your closest
are.
friends to come
We
out
would
and
love
see
for all
you.
our closest friends to come.
Yeah. Tickets are available?
The tickets don't have to be purchased in advance. It's
Okay.
$5 per person. You just pay at the door. The parking is free. We'll have lots of parking. The one thing people might want to do in advance, though, if they want a pork butt, they need to order one.
Okay.
So they can do that. We have coupons that are available in
Great.
local businesses. They're also on our website. And they can even phone and order a pork butt, and then they can pick it up that day at the festival. People love to get the barbecue that Mr. Russ makes.
And we'll make a lot of that available on screen
Great.
toward the end of this show. Again, and give us the date again one more time.
The date is Saturday, May the 4th, the very first Saturday in May. It starts at noon, goes till 6, and it's at Silver Coast Winery.
And what we didn't say, but I'm sure our viewers probably understand, is that this is a fundraiser.
It is, it is. This is our major fundraiser for the year, and will really help the Old Bridge Preservation Society in reaching our goals.
How are the funds used?
Well, we've been working since we got the bridge out of the water and onto dry land about 2 years ago to restore the bridge and the tender house. You know, the bridge was on pontoons. There were 8 big metal pontoons that the bridge floated on, and the tender house. So when we were able to get the bridge, which we bought for $1,
I remember, yeah.
so when we were able to get that out of the water, we got rid of the pontoons, but the 100-foot span of the bridge and the tender house are sitting there on the land that Ronnie and Clarice Holden let us use.
Right.
And you can imagine that after sitting on a metal barge for many years, in the salt water, exposed to the weather, there were some areas, particularly in the tender house, that needed a little loving restoration.
Sure, absolutely.
So we've been working on restoration in stages for the last 2 years. We're finishing one of our final stages this spring and have done a lot of work in the tender house. We put a foundation under it. We got rid of some of the wood that wasn't in good condition, put new wood in. And this spring we're totally rewiring it because the wiring was quite old.
I'll bet you have some talented volunteers working on that.
We do, and some skilled local craftsmen
Sure.
as well. So there's a lot of work that's going into that. But eventually our goal is to have the tender house be a museum. And the funds that we raise at the Strawberry and Wine Fest will help us restore the inside of the tender house and also help us fund the creation of displays so that we can show people the history of the bridge and the tender house, a little bit about the engineering, because it was a marvelous piece of engineering.
Absolutely was.
And then also a little about the history of Sunset Beach.
That leads me into my next question. Are there some later events involving the bridge this spring and this summer?
Right. We have regular events all during the summer months. And we have a lot of really exciting ones planned for this year. One of them is a kids camp morning for children and their families where they come over to the bridge and do some neat activities and something they can really enjoy. And that's for our visitors as well as our local residents. We're also having at least 2 concerts so far.
Great.
Our good friends Mandy Williams and Linda Ladrick will each be presenting a concert this summer. We're also going to have a program called If Bridges Could Talk. And that will talk a little bit about some of the history in the area and the bridge. For example, where our bridge is situated right now on the land over on Shoreline Drive, there's an oyster midden. And I only recently learned what an oyster midden is, but it's where a lot of oyster shells were buried. So we know that there were Native Americans in our area back prior to the Revolution, probably longer ago than that.
Sure.
And they didn't always live right down on the water, but they would come there periodically to harvest oysters. And they would discard the shells in a big pile, and eventually those became buried. But when we started planting shrubs 2 years ago, we found that we were probably sitting on an oyster midden.
Wow, that's great.
So there's lots of history there. We're learning more about the Native Americans who lived in our area. We're collecting stories about what happened during the Revolution and during the Civil War, and right up to the present day. But there's so much history, and it's just fascinating.
And you've taken one piece of history and added so much history to that in terms of the history of the county and those who have been here. Brunswick County is a county of volunteers, so
You're right.
I'm sure you'd like to have some more volunteers. Tell us about that.
Oh, we love our volunteers. We couldn't do what we do without them. Our organization is all volunteers. But we're always happy to have some new ones if people are interested or if they'd like to come and help us at the Strawberry and Wine Fest. We'd love to have them. They can go to our website, which you'll be showing at the end of the
Sure.
program. It's oldbridgepreservationsociety.org. We couldn't think of anything longer, so we chose that one. And there are opportunities there to find out what the organization's all about, what our volunteers do. They help with our programs in the summer. We put on events in the summer. We're going to have a 4th of July event for the kids. Last year we had a wonderful parade with wagons and bicycles going over the bridge and music and face painting and hula hoop contests and all kinds of fun things to celebrate. So that's just one of the events that we have throughout the summer.
Well, there's so much going on, and you're such an interesting lady. Tell me how you got involved.
Oh, well, 2 friends of mine became aware that the bridge was not going to be saved. It was just going to be scrapped.
Now, for starters, let's have our viewers understand that you live on the island, and you've been across the old bridge many, many times.
Many times, and waited for it while it was being fixed after
Sure.
it broke down.
Sure.
But that bridge had a charm and a quaintness to it,
Oh, it
and it
really
was
did.
the icon of Sunset Beach.
True.
And it still is. People still talk about it. So when the new high-rise bridge was being built, I think everyone understood that there was a need for that, for the safety and the convenience and the traffic. But I guess I just always assumed that, you know, they would save it because it was so special. And my friends found out it wasn't going to be saved. They started an effort to get the bridge saved, and that was Chris Wilson and Karen Dombrowski. And very shortly into that adventure, they asked me to help them. So over the course of the summer, we started working on saving the bridge. And we were fortunate that we were able to actually get the bridge ourselves. The Holdens gave us land to use. And we started our little nonprofit, and it just grew from there.
How is the bridge actually removed from the waterway and placed on land?
It was an interesting process. We have some video on our website, but they actually, the last day that the bridge operated, there was a little tugboat. They disconnected it, they cut it loose, and they pushed it down the waterway to a little temporary dock. And then they took the bridge apart in sections. So the metal ramps on each end came over, picked up by the crane, put on a flatbed truck, and brought over. Then the big center section was picked up by a 50-ton crane.
Okay.
And then the tender house was moved, and it walked up the little lane over to the site, slowly, like you were moving the space shuttle. So it was a big endeavor to get it moved. But that was a wonderful thing, and we had help from so many people. Jerry Strickland, a civil engineer, helped us figure out everything that we needed to do to move it. English Construction let us buy the bridge from them for $1 because they actually owned it at that point.
Not a simple matter to have engaged in the moving of the bridge.
No, it was a big thing. And, you know, the bridge was such an important part in the development of Sunset Beach as a town because we're both a mainland and an island community. Many of the islands here are just, the town is just the island, but we're both. And so that bridge really had a lot to do with our development.
Both symbolically and in fact.
Exactly, exactly. And you know, we're so interested in the history of all of this. Our town is young. We're just this year celebrating our 50th anniversary. And we've been having celebrations on March the 26th. We had a really nice dinner and celebrated that. And then in May, we're going to be having a beach party. These are all events sponsored by the town of Sunset Beach. So we're celebrating. There's banners all over the town. And the old bridge is just happy to be a little part of all the celebration of our town because we love Sunset Beach.
It's such a great story. Let's tell our viewers one more time of the date of your event at the Silver Coast Winery. The date again is?
The date is May the 4th, the first Saturday in May.
From noon?
From noon until 6 p.m.
Until 6 p.m.
Going to be rocking all day long. You can come out and enjoy the music. Bring a lawn chair when you come, or we might have some lawn chairs available there. We're working on that, but you might want to bring your own. We're going to have $5 admission. That gets you entertainment all day and so many fun things to do. Free parking. We do ask you, please, not to bring coolers, outside beverages, or pets.
Good.
Just not for that day.
Excellent.
And we're really thinking everyone's going to have a great time. You can taste award-winning wines.
It's an exciting venture, it really is, and we hope our viewers will come out in large numbers.
We hope so, too.
Ann Bockelman, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much,
appreciate it.
Jim.
Thanks
I've
so
enjoyed
much.
talking with you.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us this month on Our Hometown. It's our hope that you've enjoyed hearing the stories of the people and organizations that make this area great. If you have a story that you'd like to share on the show, please visit us at atmctv.com to tell us about it. Thanks again for joining us, and tune in next month as we explore more of Our Hometown.
Is 6:30 too early for a Get Fit workout? Are your weeknights too hectic to catch West Brunswick football? Find yourself missing all your favorite ATMC TV shows? Well, now you don't have to. ATMC TV is airing all their latest shows on demand. Stop, pause, fast forward, or rewind. Watch your shows on your time. Tune to Channel 1 to see shows like Get Fit, Tea Time, Community Spotlight, and more. Stay connected to beautiful Brunswick County with ATMC TV On Demand, brought to you free by ATMC.